Hey, what's happening, folks? Welcome to the first section of the first week. So we're going to be discussing the problem and the possibility of knowing your audience. When it comes to automating your business, when it comes to scaling, growing, crazy cats, when it comes to scaling, growing, doing anything like that, the problem tends to be a big problem is we don't know our audience, right? People fall into this trap all the time. It's something that running the agency and stuff like that, we see people don't always have a very clear, concise picture of who their target is, and then they start saying things like, my ads didn't work, my marketing doesn't work, advertising doesn't work, nothing works, don't know what to do, lost, confused, overwhelmed. So the problem is not knowing the audience. That's one. Or in other words, not having a clear picture of who they're talking to, who they're working with. It creates a lot more problems than it helps. Everything that you do, you want to be tailored to them. You want to be talking to them on their level, where they at this specific point in time. And that's the other thing is people are missing the mark, right? Sometimes we neglect to think that sometimes like our level of knowledge, our experience can be up here. The people that we're talking to, they might not have that experience yet. They might not have that knowledge yet. They may be somewhere behind you, right? Say you're here, you could be here, and your prospect, your ideal client, could be all the way back here. So you now have a series of steps that need to be taken to get people up to speed on where you are, on what you need them to see. Like I said in the initial video, everything is a series of frames, right? That's how we see the world. We see the world through frames. Well, if somebody sees a frame here, they're not going to be able to see or understand what's going on over here. The comprehension doesn't exist. You got to shift their mind slowly, right? Slowly take them into step 1, take them into step 2, take them into step 3, and so on and so forth, all the way down the line until they're exactly where you need them to be. And this is often the decision or the target, or in other words, your objective, right? So this target, this objective that you're trying to achieve, it could be a consultation, it could be a purchase, it could be a registration, it could be an opt-in, it could be any number of things, and it doesn't have to be just one specific thing exclusively, right? Maybe the opt-in is the first thing that you want, and then you want them to, the second decision would be registering for the consultation and actually showing up. And from the consultation, you want them to make the purchase. So when you're thinking about your client, when you're thinking about your audience, you want to meet them exactly where they are, and you want to start coming up with a game plan on what can I do to move them down the line. Say step 3 is your opt-in, right? Going down, going down, going down. Step 5 could be the registration. Going down, going down, going down. Step 7 could be your consultation, right? And so on and so forth. However it looks like, I don't know. That's up for you to decide. But these pieces are not going to fall in line unless we have a clear, definitive, and distinct idea of where we're going, of where we need to take them. We need to paint a picture. We need to clear a path to move them, to move their mindset, right? We're basically reframing the way that they see the world, helping them see things the way that we do in order to get them to realize that they need you, or they need your product, your service, your experience, whatever the case may be, in order to move forward. Now, as you're painting a picture, there's a lot of things that we need to figure out when it comes to knowing your audience, right? What are their demographics? What is their age range? You're not going to talk to a 20-year-old the same way you're going to talk to a 40-year-old. That's just it. A lot of people, when they're setting stuff up, they think that, I can just talk to everybody. And well, when you cast a very big, a very broad net, you're just basically shooting fish in a barrel with a shotgun. You're hoping that something is going to come through, and you're hoping that something is going to stick. It's like that old wives' tale about the spaghetti. You can tell if spaghetti is done by throwing it at a wall. Well, you're going to be constantly taking spaghetti out. You're going to be constantly throwing it against the wall. And you're constantly going to be hoping that something sticks. Now, bear with me a second. Well, I erase this. So it doesn't work, right? You might hit your mark every now and then, but you could be a lot more effective if you have a target set and you're acting like, if you're put yourself in the position of a sniper, right? You have your target set, you're laser focused, and you have that one objective. You have that one person, and you're just poo, right? Dun, 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 dun. Don't you think that your business could be a lot easier? Don't you think that you could make a lot more money? Be a lot more effective, right? So that's that. That's pretty simple. That's the problem. Is we don't have a clear picture. We don't have a clear frame of exactly who we need to be in front of, why we need to be in front of them, and where we need to be in front of them. So you got a blank here, right? You're looking into the fog, looking into the mist. This is your problem. Possibility is the business that you desire at the end of the day. That's it. That's simple. So you have your ideal business over here. Boatloads of clients, phones ringing off the hook, bouncing around from meetings to meetings. That's what you want, right? Chances are you want more freedom in terms of hobbies, in terms of family, children, spending more time. That falls into family too. Maybe you want to travel more income. Maybe you want a bigger impact. We have all of these things over here that we want. And chances are you see this clear as day. But we don't know where we're starting. Now, in order to cross this gap and get from point A to point B, there's a series of steps that we're going to have to take. Pillars that we're going to have to build, plays that we're going to have to make, whatever the case may be. First step is we need to get crystal clear on who it is that we're dealing with, who it is that we want to be talking to, how are we going to get in front of them, right? Where are we going to find them? And 3, how are we going to make it scalable? And 4, how are we going to automate it? There's a ton of choices out there for technology. There's a ton of choices out there on ways that we can go about doing this. But without defining these first 2 steps, it's a very long and uphill battle. Another way to look at this frame. Should put some like dramatic music on when I'm erasing this stuff. This whiteboard isn't the best. It would be nice if I could just scroll around a little bit, but I cannot. So, right now, we are here. We're on top of this peak. We want to be up here. We're looking at this, but we have this gap. We need this bridge to get us across. So the first step is who, what, and where. Once we have that established, we could start building our communication. And we can have it tailored to where they are. While presenting it in a way that guides them to the promised land, to where they want to be, to whatever it is that you need to solve for them, whatever pain it is. Without knowing their pain, without knowing their pleasures, it's impossible. You can just keep throwing that spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks. I'm betting if you're here, it hasn't been working out for you very far. Once we have that all built out, we could start looking at systematization. How are we going to systematize it? How are we going to automate it in a way that makes sense, that's easy to duplicate, and that you can essentially scale at the touch of a button? Scale up or down. You need more? Turn up the volume. Can't handle the influx? Turn it down. I mean, the system, you can automate everything all the way up until your consultations. You could. You could even automate your whole courses and just be done with it and have a passive revenue stream, but there's always going to be some level of human interaction in there. I mean, the technology does drive business, but the technology needs us to innovate it, to monitor it, to progress, to make it overall better, one way or another. So, this first week is all going to be about defining who it is that you're talking to, where they are right now, so that we can start formulating a game plan and putting together our communications to start filling out the automation. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers.